Good morning. Yeah, Kickstand 80 here. Beautiful day. It's May 29th here in North Dakota. Sun's just coming up. It's about 7 a.m. Current temperature is about 48 degrees. So this is the project I've been working on. I'm calling this the Fire Blight car because it had a slight engine fire. So after assessing the damage, rebuilding the wiring harness, rebuilding the distributor, there's the car. You can see the new wiring on the fuel injectors, throttle position switch, cold start, auxiliary air valve. One thing, when I rebuilt the wiring harness, for some reason the Thermo-time wire is not long enough to actually reach in there. So you can see the Thermo-time switch right there. It is not connected. So we're going to try to start the car. 48 degrees. Let's see what it does. Yep, it started on the second try. So that shows that, you know, even at 48 degrees with a bad cold start valve that's not functioning and a disconnected Thermo-time switch, the car will run. You have to let it warm up a little bit. But I wanted to get a video of the engine running before I started taking the car apart. I will be parting this car out. I'm going to be keeping some parts for myself. And I will be selling stuff off. So everything within reason seems to work. So the reason there was an engine fire, when I took everything apart, I had found that somebody had put on an incorrect fuel hose on injector number 1. Okay, after I got it running yesterday, when I turned the car off, I noticed that the fuel pump stayed running, which was odd. It should have shut down. So I pulled out the fuel pump relay, which is located in the kick panel on the passenger side. Back down under and over there. And I found that the cowl is rusted on this car underneath the windshield. Water had dripped down and it was in all the connectors on the sub-harnesses, connectors for the dash. When I got the fuel pump relay out, it was full of water. And water had been in it for so long, the return spring for the relay had actually rusted away and it was gone. So I believe that the fuel pump running after the previous owner shut the car off, the pump continued to run, and eventually that fuel hose popped, and on a hot engine it eventually lit up. It only was on fire for a few minutes. It burned up the rubber boot. I used duct tape to patch that up. You can see some duct tape on a few of the other air hoses, the PVC vent hose. The distributor cap and all the wires were completely gone. So most of the fire was contained right in this area. Here you can see that the shroud is melted a little bit. Didn't affect the fan or any of the belts. But I did quick repairs on everything just to make sure there were no vacuum leaks so I could get the engine running to show that this is a decent running engine. So didn't affect airflow meter. But it's a 1979 car. I bought it from the second owner. The odometer shows 60,000 miles, and the guy that I bought it from insisted that those were original miles. So it's a low mileage engine. Rest of the car, and a fender that's good. Yeah, the door could be salvaged. Yeah, we got a little bit of rust in the bottom of the quarters. Yeah, surface rust. It is a 2+2 car. This side, a little bit of damage, but it's got a rust hole in the fender. Got cool old turbine wheels. Rusted out fender. There's the passenger side of the engine. So it's interesting, when it burned up the distributor and the wires, I've got an old engine from a 79 sitting in the garage. That car had been sitting in a field for like 20 plus years, but it still had the distributor in it. So that's the cap from that car that sat in. These are the wires from it, and these things are so brittle. It's just crazy. But hey, they still work. So I reused them. So you can see my wiring harnesses, parts that I had to rebuild. So basically everything from there forward was rebuilt, and it's a decent running engine. All right, everybody, have a great day.